Hello, everybody. Welcome home and welcome to Schmitty300 Plays The Bazaar. This is a game I did not expect to get into, and I'll tell you why. It hits a lot of my check boxes for good games in my experience. However, my favorite content creator was redoing one of my other favorite games. He had done a playthrough of it years ago and was doing it again, and I was very excited. And he was releasing it same time every day, and then he stopped to do this game, and it actually annoyed me, and I kind of boycotted it as a result. And then a few of my other favorite YouTubers were doing videos like 2, 3, 4 a day of the Bazaar, and I thought, well, maybe it deserves my attention. I'm glad I did that because this is easily my favorite game right now, by far. The one of the most surprising things that has happened in my discovery of this game is its combat mechanic is a mechanic that I've never actually used before and kind of avoided because I didn't quite like it, but I'm a fan now. This is an auto battler. It's an engine building auto battler, not a deck builder. The website I read for some research on this called it hero modifying, which is true. You gain items that are kind of on cards, but it's not a deck builder. You'll see. Anyway, it's an auto builder because every item has a cooldown, and when the time expires on the cooldown, the item activates, and then there are hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of builds and synergies that you can get that are just so satisfying and dopamine triggering and just put a smile on your face. The largest criticism of this game right now is that it's quote unquote broken, and most of the people that are saying that are not wrong. There are 3 characters and I think at least 100 items per character. I'm sure it's somewhere around there. There are also like unique items you get from monsters and that kind of thing, but there are a couple of synergies and builds that one of the characters can get that is just absurd. I've seen it. I don't think I've gone up against it a couple times, but I've seen it on some of the content I consume, and I've seen fights end in 2.5 or 3 seconds. It's saying it's unfair doesn't do it justice. It's just like you look at the screen and you just say, what's the point? So people that delve into that on purpose, yeah, those are going to annoy me. But despite that, this game is amazing. It's well done. It's vibrant. It's so colorful, as you can see here. The music is great, and fights are quick. Fights inspire. I wouldn't say they're slow or take a long time. But because it's an auto battler, there's like a time limit on it. So I think it's about 30 or 32 seconds. If the fight starts and about 32 seconds has passed and no one has been defeated yet, then the game throws in what's called the sandstorm, and it starts doing equal amounts of damage to both players until one of them's dead. And that's it. But yeah, so I have played extensive, or I say a couple. How many games have I played of this? Maybe a couple dozen. I started off about a week ago, and I was just getting really frustrated with it. I was just so bad. I could not get very far. I could not find good synergies. There aren't cards or items to unlock, as far as I know. Spire had that, had the roguelike element where when you start a new game, you were given the base deck and a base set of cards, and then the more experience you get, you unlock the rest of that character's cards. To my knowledge, there isn't that in this game. I will openly admit that I have not done extensive research on this game. I've played it quite a bit, and I've watched a lot of content, and in all of those interactions, I've not seen cards to unlock. There are plenty of aesthetics to unlock in ranked mode, but I have not ventured down that path as of yet. But full disclosure, I don't claim to be any kind of expert on this. We're kind of going to do this together, and I'm really hoping I can make a lot of these videos, because this is a perfect game, especially for me, to do videos on. There's lots of thinking, lots of strategy, lots of deduction, lots of calculations. For anyone that knows me, I'm a numbers guy. There's lots of that, and trying to decide what's a perfect fit, what's a perfect build, what path to go down. And it just scratches that, even though it's not exactly a deck builder, it scratches that itch really well. And it's also very forgiving. So I'll do one more kind of explanation here, and then we'll get started here. So how it works, as far as the progression is concerned, it's broken down into days, and then there's, I believe, six turns to a day. At the end of each day, you fight in an auto battle against another player, a randomly selected other player's build. It's not live. You're not playing against them in real time. The game collects the different builds and just throws you up against one. If you win, you don't lose anything. If you lose prestige points, and you start with 20, and you lose the number of prestige points that equal to what day it is. So if you lost to a player on day 4, you lose 4 prestige points. On day 5, you lose 5, etc., etc. As soon as you run out of prestige points, you get one last hurrah. You're given a pretty significant upgrade, either a bunch of gold or a magical enchantment or something like that. Usually I pick the enchantment. I think there's 3 options. We'll get to that. And then you're set back out into the bazaar to keep going. But that's your last. The very next battle you lose against a human player, your run is over. If you can reach 10 wins against players before that happens, you win. You win. You get a gold victory. You earn a ticket to play in the ranked, which I think is a great system. You don't charge to play the ranked, but you have to become good enough at the game to go into ranked, which I think is you have to be able to. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love that mechanic. Okay, so I have talked for 7 minutes, which actually is pretty short for most of my introductions. So, but yeah, so I'll explain what I know, and we're going to discover a whole bunch together as we go. So, as you can see, I've won a couple times. My very first 10-win game, I didn't lose any to any players, and I got what's called a diamond victory, which I guess is pretty rare. So what that also means, sorry, I keep thinking things, I'm just going to lay them out for you. What that also means is that if you lose to a player in the first couple of days, it doesn't really matter too much, because you're probably working on a build of items that's more long-term, versus some other players that either got lucky on a good event, they found a good upgrade, or found the perfect synergistic item for what they already had, etc., etc. There are going to be some great runs, there are going to be some terrible ones, but I have learned quite a bit about builds and what synergizes, at least for one of these characters, who we will start with. So, okay, this game is great. I hope you come along with the ride for me. So here we go. Or come along for the ride with me. So here's Vanessa. So the 3 characters. Vanessa is a pirate. When you start the game, there is a vignette, a video package, or introductory video for her. I think she's trying to dethrone a king or something like that, and then she got sidetracked, and now she's on this bazaar, and she's now here to collect resources to continue on her mission. There's a pig.
Folks back home, what's possible?
There's a Pygmalion who's kind of a aristocratic, wealthy entrepreneur. I don't know if that's an oxymoron or not. Sorry. A lot of his mechanics revolve around owning property, income, healing and shielding, and that kind of stuff. A lot of Vanessa's are based around direct damage from gunfire, burn damage, that kind of stuff. And then there's Dooley, who is just kind of a jerk. I've seen, because my favorite YouTuber refuses to play as Dooley, I haven't seen too many Dooley runs. I've seen him play against them a lot. Their basic mechanic is they start with a version of one of the versions of a core you can pick. The broken, completely unfair and cheap build is a poison build that synergizes so incredibly well. You've got 400 poison on you in the first 3 seconds. Like it's just ridiculous. But Vanessa's who I know, so we're gonna start there. Okay, here we go. I'm excited. I am excited. This game is awesome. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well. Happy New Year to everyone. Oh yeah, so another thing I was gonna say, and I did say in one of my other videos I started, but got sidetracked and had to start over again. This game will be free to play. I believe it's going to be mid to late February or even March now, possibly. It was supposed to be December, but as most open betas, as most games that are in development, as it happens with most games in development, it gets pushed back farther and farther. So I tried for a good week or at least 1 week, probably 2 or so, putting it off, looking into when it was coming out to be free, because I really wanted to play it, and it was hard to justify the purchase. But the more content I was seeing on YouTube and Twitch, I just had to have it. And then I was supposed to be December, and then December 30th happened, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, where's my free game? And then I read it was February, and I was not going to prepare to wait another 2 months. So, okay, so here's the main board. I'll walk you through it. So here is your win counter. So if you get four wins against a player, you get a bronze victory. If you get at least 4, you get a bronze victory. If you get at least 7, you get a silver victory. And once you get 10, you get a gold victory. And as I mentioned before, if you get all 10 without losing a single one, you get a diamond victory. This is your prestige bar here. And this is your day counter. So this arrow will go around every day. And so every day just consists of doing something. You get an option. You get 3 options up here after this one, and you pick which one you want to do. When you finish with that option, the day ticker moves, and you also get an experience point. Once you get 8 XP, you go up a level, mission, right? And levels. Overthrowing tyrants, liberation, and such. Yes, sorry, Vanessa. Sorry to keep you waiting. When you get 8 experience points, you go up a level. You get extra max HP, and for levels 2 to 4. Your play surface, which is this cloth right here, will grow. And that will be very important, and I will show you as we go. And this is you get this much amount of money at the beginning of every day, not every hour, but every day. And then this is your inventory. So you get any of the items here aren't in play. Some items, their effects still work when they're in your stash. Most of them don't. I'm still learning which ones work in your stash. So I will have lots to learn. But, so I currently have 8 money. This is my health bar, obviously. And, you can actually play with the environment, too. Which is kind of fun. I learned that just this morning. Anyway, let's get started. So you start in Vanessa's quarters. You pick an item to begin your journey. Okay. So here are our selections. So items come in 3 different sizes. There's small. There's medium, which is 2 of these, and then there's large. You can only fit so much on your mat at any time. I believe small is 1 quote-unquote space, medium is 2 spaces, and large is 3 spaces. I'm pretty sure that once the entire mat is unfolded, you have 10 spaces to work with. So what are we going to do? Based on my previous adventures with Vanessa, this is not a great start. Well, no, it is a pretty good start, but let's go over some items here. So every item has keywords attached to it. So this is a small weapon. It's hard to use my pointer here, so I'll kind of just go left to right. So this is a grenade, obviously. Its cooldown is 4 seconds. So when the fight starts, as soon as 4 seconds elapses, then it'll deal 60 damage. It has a 25% chance to critical hit, which means it does double damage. The grenade is an ammo item, as you can see on the right of the box there with the 3 orange bullets and number 1. It only has 1 ammo, so after 4 seconds, it'll do 60 damage, and that's it. Unless there are ways to reload your ammo items, but if you don't have one of those, this will do 60 damage, and then it's dead. It will do nothing else for you the rest of the fight. And it sells for $2. So there's so much stuff we're going to see in these boxes that are important to know about the synergies of the game. This is a weapon. This is small. Like there are some items that have at least 4 or 5 different keywords sometimes. So there's going to be a lot to absorb here. So I really do hope you bear with me, and I'll try and be as clear as I can along the way. One thing I did forget to mention is down here, these are where your skills are going to go. These are passive abilities and or effects. Some of them are like when you use a large item, the items adjacent to it gain 20% critical chance for the rest of the fight, kind of thing. Not only are synergies important, but also placement on your mat is extremely important. And I've lost runs because I've rearranged by accident or rearranged for one reason or another, didn't put it back to where it was supposed to be, and the chain was broken, and it was a real bummer. So this is a cove. This is a large aquatic property. Its cooldown is 3 seconds. It gives me shield equal to double this item's value. Right now, its value, because it sells for 6, everything sells for half price, so its value would be 12. But it's a large item. But we need to think more long term. So the cove is a very good item. And also, whenever you sell any item, this gains a value. And I think the main reason I did so poorly in my first at least a few dozen playthroughs of this on my own was I wasn't taking advantage of the entire theme of the game. You're in a bazaar. You buy and sell so much stuff, and there is so many items that have abilities attached to them that say when you sell this, you get this perk. And I just wasn't taking advantage of that enough, and I will make sure to point that out as we go. So yeah, whenever you sell any item, no matter, and this can be in your stash or on your board, it doesn't matter where this is, this ability will trigger. Whenever you sell any item, it gains $1 in value, which it gains 2 shield, basically. And it's pretty quick. Its cooldown is 3 seconds, which is pretty good. Crow's Nest is almost a build into itself. All your weapons have 50% chance to critical hit, and if you have exactly one weapon, that weapon gains lifesteal. I don't have to explain to you what lifesteal is. It's a large property and aquatic, and it sells for 6. And then there is the cannonball. Adjacent items have an +2 maximum ammo. So if I had this next to the grenade, this would get 3 ammo and could trigger 3 times before it died. I think we're going to go with a cove build, at least to start. And I apologize for the side notes, but they come to me and they're quite important. A great feature about this game is that when you play Spire, you kind of have to really go where the game guides you with what cards you're given. You kind of have to pick a build of deck, a theme, or a theme of the deck kind of as you go, and if you try and stray from that, you're kind of screwed. This game is so forgiving in that, and there are so many different and great synergies that can just kind of pop in and out with the purchase of just one new item. So pivoting your strategy and your build is a very what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word. It's so possible, and it works, and it's sometimes necessary. You have to really analyze your build. You go to a shop and it'll tell you what's for sale, and you have to look at your build and think, okay, maybe that is better, and that's start crunching the numbers, and that's where I get all happy. Okay, we're gonna do a cove build, so we'll take that. So that was the first part of the first day. So now we're into the bazaar, and here are our options. So every day is gonna have 3 options, and every There are fights against computer opponents, non-player opponents, and when that comes out, there's also 3 options for that too. Okay, so this guy sells all kinds of items, so you'll never know what you're going to get. This guy, Finn's Big Bite, eat at Finn's to get max health. It also will allow you to possibly get regeneration on your top of your health, and also max health plus ability to give your shields more. So that's interesting. And then there's this item, Botanical Gardens. You just given a poison item. You have no idea what character it comes from. I'm pretty sure. I wonder if these events actually do specify your character. I'm not sure they do. I'm not certain on that. But it could be any size. It could be any rarity. Probably the lowest one. And yeah, so that's always a bit of a risk, but it's free. You go over to the shops. You're going to be paying money for anything. This is just given to you for free. And like I said, when you finish a day, you get an experience point. No matter what you do, combat, I think you have to win to get the experience point, though. Pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. One more thing to mention. Let's go to the shop though to help explain a few things.
The Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
So there are also 4 levels of advancement for each item. There's bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. You can tell by the border of the item itself right here. That's bronze. Also, you can tell by the border on the text box. It's also bronze. You can see this one's silver, and these ones are bronze. When you upgrade an item, usually the keywords stuff gets better. Like the fishing rod, this is a haste the aquatic item to the right for 2 seconds. If you upgrade the fishing rod, I think it upgrades it, or it hastes the aquatic item for 3 seconds instead. That kind of thing. There are a couple different ways to upgrade items. The most fun way is if you find the same item of the same rarity, either in a shop or as a reward from a battle or something like that, and you take that item, it automatically combines the 2 bronze. Say you got 2 bronze fishing rods, it will combine 2 bronze fishing rods into a silver one for you. Also, there's an option to re-roll a merchant's items if you don't like what you see. You can buy him out and then re-roll and re-roll, and he'll get three new ones too. So as I said, the buy and sell mechanic of this is a very important part of building a successful run here. Do I want any of these? I don't want to. I've never. So the fishing rod's a medium aquatic tool. I mentioned the ability already. It's 8-second cooldown, so it's not great. So it would take 8 seconds for that haste ability on an aquatic item to actually trigger. Early on in the game, you have time at the beginning of a fight for a long cooldown item to work for you, because you're not up against a lot of opposition. Opposition will have the same amount of time passed. So yeah, when I fight on day 1 against the player, it'll be day 1 for them as well. I won't fight anyone on day 6 who has an incredibly broken build already. Like, you fight people at the same time frame. So whoever I fight will have the exact same, not the exact same events, but time and choices that I've had. So, but I've never taken fishing rod. At the start of each day, get a small aquatic item. So yeah, there are a number of aquatic items, as this is one. This is the Loser Ray. It's also counts as a friend, which is a fun little mechanic. After 7 seconds, it goes off, and it slows one of your opponent's items for 1 second. Slow means the time passes twice as slowly. So if it's that you get it. However, if you have a friend right next to this on your board, it'll gain multicast and do that twice. That's it's a decent unit, but not great. Throwing knives has got ammo. When you crit, so charge means if you charge an item, it basically just skips a second. So if I'm using the fishing rod and this got charged for 1 second at the very beginning of its turn, then its cooldown would instantly go from 8 seconds left to activate to 7. So it just skips that time. Charge is very powerful. But it's only got 3 ammo. I have no ways of refilling it yet, so I'm not going to bother. I got 8 gold. Cost 3 gold to reroll. Let's see what else you got. I do like dock lines. Dock lines, medium tool, aquatic, 4-second cooldown. Slow 1 item for 4 seconds. Upgrade it, you can slow 2 items on silver, 3 items on gold, and 4 items on diamond, which is very powerful. I just did a build with dock lines today, actually, and it worked pretty well. I do like dock lines. So as I mentioned also, is you don't ever actually have to do damage to your opponent. You just have to outlast them, because the sandstorm comes in after 30 seconds. So if you can build like a shield or a healing build, which for the Pygmalion character is actually one of their main mechanics and main builds, you don't ever have to do any damage at all. The game will do damage for you. You just got to survive. Do I want a revolver though? I don't want a grenade. I just don't like the grenade. If I had a free way to refill its ammo, I might consider it, but I do like the dock lines. They're very good. I can't fit them yet, as you can see. It won't fit, but I could just and I just bought it, so there we go. So yeah, so I stored it in my stash. I now have that. Might not have been the best idea. So okay, so here's combat. So on the first day, all the items, all the enemies are of the same difficulty. For each enemy, will receive 3 gold, 1 experience, and 1 item or skill, free skill. Every subsequent day, there are tiers of difficulty against enemies. There'll be basically there's bronze, silver, and gold. Sometimes gold will be diamond or even mythic. And I think the bronze and silver give the same amount of experience but different coins, but the gold one / diamond / mythic will give you extra experience, which is a big boost. Experience is very, very useful in this game. But like I said, day 1, they're all the same, basically the same amount of life, basically same difficulty. I'm pretty sure these two you actually can't even lose, because their builds are so weak and you have more life than them. So by the time the sandstorm hits, you win. The Viper, I believe, is the one that you can lose against, because it has poison instead of just direct damage. You also, as you come to learn more about the game, you learn about what these enemies will possibly drop as items. So Viper will usually drop poison stuff. The Kyber drone will drop items you can sell to decrease the cooldown of one of your items, and the Inglet will drop either a fang that does a tiny bit of damage, or a pelt you can just sell for gold. We're gonna go for the cooldown, so we'll fight the drone. So you can see here he's got, so that's the item we'll probably get. He's also got a stinger, which will do 5 damage and also slow our item for us. The Long Jian is very slow, but if you use it in your game, whenever you win a fight with it, it gains permanent damage. And then there's the Talisman, which when you sell it, your leftmost item gains 5% crit. So we would probably like either the Talisman or the Insect Wing. Here comes the Sandstorm. You can see the blue doohickeys coming in. Once they meet in the middle, bang. Here comes Sandstorm. We lose health at the exact same rate. And because his hit 0/- first, I win. Okay, so we got a stinger. 5 damage. Excuse me. 5 damage, 9-second cooldown. Slow an item for a second and gets lifesteal. I mean, it fits on our board, so we'll take it, and it was free. So there you go. So you can see we now have 4 experience. I guess did we get 2 experience for? I guess you get, so you get an experience just for existing during a day, and then we got an extra experience for beating that guy, because we got, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, and 2 here. So we're up to 4. As soon as we hit 8, we'll go up a level. Okay, what are our options here? We got sells medium items, sells skills, which we definitely need sooner or later, or get 3 spare change. 3 spare change, you get coins and you just sell them. You can sell stuff at any time. There are some times where you come to a day and there's not even there's no merchant at all. I think that's a possibility. But you can come into your stash and just drag stuff up into the treasure chest, and it just sells automatically because you're in a bazaar. Everyone's buying everything, so it's just, you know, I got this cove. Here's the deed. Okay, so do we need? We do need money, but I rarely take this one. Although one advantage to that is we get money, but also every time we sell something, this gets better. We don't have any room for medium items. And I'm really on the fence about skills. The Twitch chat and comments on my favorite guy's YouTube and yeah, comments on there all say that you should wait until at least level 4, I think, before you start taking skills. I've won a couple games where I started taking skills on day 1. I understand that because skills mostly revolve around mechanics that you don't even have yet, and it's impossible to purposefully steer into those skills because you might never even be offered the right item. But maybe I just got unlucky. Let's just go spare change then. Let's be crazy. So you go into your stash and you got spare change. Sells for gold. So sells for 1 gold. So I'll drag it up into here, and every time I do, this is going to gain value of 1, and this should gain a value of 2. So I'll sell this, and now it's 7 and 14, 8 and 16, and 9 and 18. So yeah, I just found some coins, but I also improved my major item as well. Okay, so our 4. We've got a guy that sells all items with ammo. We got a dude that sells bronze tier skills, and we got a dude a place that's just going to give me a small weapon. My experience to this point, playing Vanessa and getting a small weapon, is you get handed a piranha, which is just a joke because it's maybe not the worst weapon in her repertoire, but it's kind of a joke. Its cooldown is faster than the Stinger, though. Oh, heck. Let's just have a look. Called it. Did I call it or did I call it? So we got a piranha. So it will do damage faster. It doesn't have lifesteal, but it does do damage faster. So it'll do 1 damage per second. You take the damage divided by the time. 5 divided by 5 is 1. This does 5 damage over 9 seconds, which is 5 over 9, which is just a little bit more than a half. So it does just over half a damage per second. And this does 1 damage per second, so there's the math. I do wish we could fit the dock lines in. Theoretically, we could do this. Nothing is stopping me from doing that. But the cooldown on the Cove is quite fast, and I believe Shield will help us win the first battle. So yeah, so we're about to enter the end of the day, and so this is our first player versus player match. This is all I got, and luckily he won't have a lot more. So click on that. So there is a lot of voice acting. Well, there is quite a bit of voice acting. I'll leave it in for my first few videos, but I've turned it off whenever I play. It's just kind of distracting. So he's got some healing going on. These golf clubs here, every time he heals, this gains damage. So he's got a pretty good build. We are going to lose this fight, straight up. We have no chance of winning this fight. His damage is ramping up. None of my damage or shield is ramping up. So if you have ramp, if your opponent has ramp and you don't, you're in trouble. So we lose 1 prestige, but honestly, losing day 1 is not.
Less blunder,
yeah.
More plunder.
Yeah. So the voices are cute and funny. Some of the things they say are amusing, but after the first 6 to 10 games, I was just kind of over it. But I'll leave it on for you to hear them, and give the voice actors the credit they deserve. They did a great job. Yeah, so losing day 1, not a big deal. We lose 1 prestige point. There are, I think there is one event that allows you to regain prestige points. I believe it's a rare event, but it's possible. But losing one, like, we're still filling things out. You never get worried about it. Okay, so this one will sell weapons of no particular genre or size, just all weapons. This guy will sell us bronze tier skills, and we can gain 1 regen. I will never take that. 1 regen. You just regain 1 health per second. Regen is great, but 1 of it is not good enough. So the good news is also we're gonna, as soon as we finish this hour, we're gonna level up, and our map's gonna get bigger. We can put our things on the map. So we got 12 gold as well. So let's go shopping. Okay. Interesting. Katana is a great weapon. It doesn't look great, but I've had to learn the hard way that you need to think longer term. There are many ways to buff up the damage and even the speed at which this activates. And 4 damage every 2 seconds may not sound like much, but Katana is a good weapon, and so is double barrel as well. Double barrel is not great unless you have a way to restock its ammo, though. And switchblade, I've taken it a couple times early on because it does something. When you use an adjacent weapon, give that weapon 3 damage, plus 3 damage for the fight. When you have like a weapon that has like multicast, so this does 15 damage twice for every ammo it expends. Not just 15, it does 30. So you add, you put this next to the double barrel, and this will do 18 times 2 after it gets shoots the first time. What do we want to do here? So we're going to gain 2 total spaces with the level up, so we can fit another medium item on there, or 2 small. I'm going to take both the gun and the katana for future considerations. I'm not going to reroll. But since we also want to start selling things as often as we can, so when you buy an item for 2, you can sell it for 1. So to buff this and increase its value, it only costs $1 to give it an extra 2. So I'm going to buy that and then sell it back to them immediately and buff my cove a little bit. I can probably sell the stinger. I'm never going to use this, so I'll get rid of that too. So this is increasing in value and shield value. Okay, so we'll leave this encounter where if we re-roll, we're only going to have $1 left, which is the cheapest items are always $2. So we'll move on. So we leveled up. So we got an extra maximum HP, and we get a bonus. I'm not sure how many different options there are for these 5 to pick from. I believe there are quite a few. I've seen quite a few varieties. So we got, you can get 2 extract, which are items, when you sell them, you increase the poison value of one of your poison items. You get 3 monster loot items, which are usually just kind of like scraps you'll sell. Like the extract is an example of a loot, but this would be 3 random loot. There's loot that increases shield, loot that increases damage, loot that increases heal, damage, reduce cool time, all kinds of stuff. So kind of a bit of a gamble because you might not get what you need. You can gain 2 income per day, which is pretty good early on. You can increase the effectiveness of one of your healing items, or you can decrease the cooldowns of all your aquatic items by 3%. So these are both aquatic, as is my dock line. So that might not be a terrible choice. But so far in my limited experience, I have found that early income is a big deal. So I'm going to take that. If there was an option to buff some shield, I might have taken that to buff the cove a bit. But I'm going to go with the income in this particular case. Okay, back to the bazaar. Okay, so what do we got? So we have Kev, who's going to sell us health, toughness, and shield items. Again, no size specified. Vermeer, who's going to sell us some crit skills. or you can gain a slow item. So that can be a bit misleading. It isn't necessarily an item that will inflict slow. It might be an item that says something like, when you inflict slow, something will happen. It could very, very possibly be like our dock lines are a slow item, and we could very easily obtain another dock lines and upgrade this, which would be great. Odds are not good. There are a lot of items that have the word slow somewhere in it, which is exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get an item that has the keyword slow somewhere in it. I made that mistake because the keyword of haste is wonderful. Your cooldown, as long as your item has been hasted, its cooldown time is basically cut in half. Basically, the cooldown ticks up twice as fast. It's 6 of one, it doesn't the other. And there are a number of times there have been events saying get a haste item. Thinking, oh great, I really need an item on my board that will haste my other items. And then you pick that, and it's an item that's just like, whenever the first time you haste, do this. And it's like, well, I don't have haste, but thanks for nothing. And also, crit skills don't necessarily mean when you crit, do this. There's a wide variety of crit skills that are from, the first time you use, I think I gave an example, or maybe I didn't, but the one I used today, the first time you use a large item, its adjacent items gain 15% crit chance for the rest of the fight. Just the first time you use, not every time, but the first time. So crit skills could be useful. We aren't doing a lot of damage. Still not doing a lot of damage. I probably actually want one of these out here instead of the dock lines. So you do a total of 60 damage in 6 seconds. In 6 seconds, you're going to do 12 damage. It's going to take you 30 seconds to do 60 damage. That was not fast arithmetic in my head. And then I spent the entire silence there trying to do the math. Yeah, we're going to throw the double barrel in there because, well, yeah, it's going to take the entire time from the beginning of the fight to the beginning of the sandstorm for this to do the exact same amount of damage that this is going to do. So I think that's the smart choice. Health, toughness, and shield. We've only got $4. And the cheapest, I believe how the price ranging generally works is obviously the lower the value, like the lower the level of the item, so bronze, silver, gold. If bronze items are the cheapest, silver are the next, etc., etc. A small bronze always costs 2. A medium bronze will cost 4, and a large bronze costs 6. I believe a small silver costs 4. So basically, each measure of space for copper costs 2. Each measure of space for silver costs 4, 6, and 8, etc. I don't hold me to that. That's not necessarily the truth, but that's what I've noticed. So we only have $4. So the best thing we can afford would be a silver small, or a copper or a bronze medium, which, unless it's a double barrel, doesn't do us much good. I guess a bronze katana or bronze taco lens could be good. I'm kind of thinking crit, despite what. Oh, also, there are connectivity issues with this game. It's still, and they're working the kinks out. Because it's such a fantastic game and they're doing a great job, I don't care. You just saw how long it took to reboot it, so it's not a big deal. And it always picks up exactly where you left off. Okay, so here are the crit skills we choose from, and we can afford them all, which is great. So all your items gain +3 crit. The first time your opponent falls below half health, each fight charge your items for a second. Rightmost item gets +5 crit, and the first time you crit each fight, freeze an item for 3 seconds. You can probably imagine what freeze does. It stops the cooldown entirely. Many items in this game have passive abilities. To my knowledge, if an item with a passive ability is frozen, the passive ability will still trigger if the necessary event to trigger it happens. I'm thinking just gonna give him all crit. Yeah, shield can crit. Shield and healing, poison and burn can all crit. Things like slow and haste and that kind of stuff cannot crit, to my knowledge. Yeah, let's just get that. Okay, so we got a crab, we got a thief, and we got a scrapper. So you can see bronze, silver, and gold. This will give us 3 money, 2 experience, and 1 reward. 4, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 1. I do not believe we are capable of defeating the scrapper. There is a lovely little website / wiki thing that is very user-friendly, and you can search all kinds of stuff. And there's even a full monsters page, which you can pick the day, and it gives you all the possible monsters. And it tells you what they have and what they can possibly drop and how much health they have. You could consider that kind of not cheating, but you know, you play it enough, you're going to learn this anyway. So might as well make the information available. The thief has a wonderful cloak that grants haste. That's very good. It also has a safe that when you sell it, it gives you spare change. But can we defeat the thief? He has 400 health. I'm not sure we can beat him, honestly. So we're gonna fight the crab. Okay, let's see how we go here. So he has the same amount of shield on his item as I do, but mine's much faster. Not much faster, by a full 2 seconds. Okay, so the gun is done. So our little piranha friend here is going to do his darndest to keep us in this fight, but because we're shielding as much as we are and the sandstorm is about to begin, we're going to be fine. Sandstorm does take shield off first, so shield will protect you from the sandstorm, but he still has much less total, so we're going to be fine. Might have looked closer than it was. It wasn't that close.
See that plank?
Okay, so we got a seashell, small aquatic, 5-second cooldown, shields 10 for each aquatic item you have, and that refers to each aquatic item on your board, not in your stash. I've tried running seashell a couple of times and have been unsuccessful to making it work really well. I don't think it's that good. Sorry, I don't think it's very good. I've not come across anyone so far that has determined that the seashell is good. So we could sell it for value to get Cove buffed up a little bit, but I think I'm gonna hang on to it now, just in case. It's nice to have a full board when you can. So we'll level up in a couple of hours here. Not real time, obviously. And it's nice to be able to fill out your board when your board expands. So I think I'll hang on to that. Although I could easily fill out my board with a dog line or a katana. Yep, you're gone. Talk myself into it. Okay, we have $6. So they'll sell medium items. We do have a couple medium items that we could use upgrades on. The Lost Crate is a great event. There's only 2 choices of this event. One of them is you return the crate, you get 1 experience and 2 gold. 1 experience on top of the experience you'd get just for existing. Just for completing a day, you get an experience point. So that would give you 2 experience total. And money's always useful. Or get a small weapon. Well, maybe we could get another piranha and upgrade it, because this event only ever frickin' gives me bronze piranhas. Ever. I like to go shopping. Let's go shopping.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge.
See what we got. Oh, we got a katana upgrade. Not too shabby. Actually, that's pretty darn good. Yeah, we'll take that for sure. Probably sell the double barrel as a result. The beach ball is a fun item. Haste 1 aquatic item for 2 seconds. The catch to the beach ball is it is also aquatic. And when it takes into account which aquatic item it's going to haste for 2 seconds, it takes into account all of your aquatic items, including itself. So it can haste itself, which isn't bad. It's nice to get haste again fast, but usually you want to have items like this that grant haste to hit the other items to do damage and other abilities. So when you upgrade this one, the number of aquatic items it hits increases by 1. So a diamond beach ball would haste 4 aquatic items for 2 seconds. I love this game, and I love talking about this game. I sure hope you're enjoying yourself. I really am. I really, really am. And hope you're well. I really do. I hope you're doing well. I hope Christmas was nice for you, and your New Year's off to a good start. So thank you for joining me. I'm very excited about this. Okay, let's get the katana. We can easily afford it. So bing, bang, boom.
The quicker the fight.
And so now you do 60 damage in 6 seconds. You now do 36 damage in 6 seconds, but after the 6 seconds, it only takes 10 seconds now for you to do 60 damage. So yeah, you have been outclassed, my friend. And probably means that... Are we going to sell the double barrel? Yep. Yes, we are. Okay, pretty much out of money, so we'll end the encounter and we'll do our next one. So sells items with ammo. We just sold one off. A strange mushroom. I believe this is also another event that I think has 3 options. One of them is just gain an extra experience. We are fighting a player next hour. The very next thing we're going to do after this is fight a player. So no matter what, we're not going to gain a level now. So while an extra experience point is always useful, it's not as immediately useful now as a bigger board would be a boon for us for our next fight. Do we even want an item with ammo right now? I don't think there's... the only thing I want to do is replace the piranha for our next fight. And I don't think there are really any small ammo items that I really want right now. Let's take a quick gander at this little wiki thing here. Small ammo for Vanessa. There's a burn one that's not bad. Yeah, we'd have to get that one for me to even consider it. It's called Pop Snappers, and it has 3 max ammo and it inflicts 4 burn. The burn mechanic is if a player has burn on them, every half second it does that amount of burn damage to them and then ticks down by 1. So if there's 4 burn, in the first second it would do 4 burn and 3 burn for a total of 7. And the second it would do a total of 2 burn and 1 burn for 3. So it would do 10 total burn damage in 2 seconds. Burn is a great mechanic, but shield blocks burn, and I learned very recently that not only does fire affect shield first before health, shield also cuts the damage fire does in half. I did not know that. So if you have a burn build up against a shield build, you can definitely be successful, but it can be tough. Poison goes right through a shield, skips shields entirely, but goes slower. It only affects every second. The pro to poison is that it does not tick down. You put 6 poison on a dude, he's got at least 6 poison the rest of the fight. But like I said, it's a slower mechanic though. So I don't think I'm gonna risk that. Let's just go for the experience. Or what else does this event have? You can gain a random skill. You can gain 2 to 4 gold, or you can gain the experience. I don't think. I would be bummed if we got a skill that was just useless. So we'll gain the experience point. So we're fighting another Vanessa. So according to this, she won her first day. You can see the blue bar there, and then her prestige bar has not gone down. She's level 2 like I am, and that's all we know about her. And we're not changing anything, so let's go.
You should know.
I'm getting much better at
Legend
when I see the players build what our chances are. Later on in the game, it gets extremely complicated. Yeah, we're dead. The trebuchet here is a great item. very fun to use. So that throws burn on us. Yeah, we're so dead. He's got a great temporary. Yeah, we don't have a chance. And that's okay. He's also got 3 skills. Yeah, he or she was in great position there. Oh, so because we finished the day, even though we lost the fight, we still got an experience point. So we gain a level, and we can put our dock lines out. Did he have a bigger rug out here? No, I don't think so. Doesn't matter. We lost. Straight up lost. Okay, so we can gain a friend. So it can be any friend. If I do a quick little scour here. Friend Vanessa. 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 friends. There are 8 possible friends. And none of them. One of them is medium. One's large, and the rest are small. I'm not steering toward a friend build here. We don't have anything with burn, so these items that would give us plus burn to that item are useless. We don't have any healing. We do have items that do damage, and we don't care about how much our... Oh, you know, I've never taken that before, but if we put... That would increase the shield of the cove by 6. Interesting. However, I am more interested in increasing the damage of the katana. So we're going to take the 2 sharpening stones. So take that on to day 3. Okay, so we go into the stash. So here are the sharpening stones. When you sell this, your leftmost weapon gets 3 damage, and it's a very handy option, or a very handy thing they included is that when you highlight it, it does highlight the item down here, which it'll affect for you in case you're not sure. So this will increase damage by 3, bink, and damage by 3, bink. And also we sold stuff, so the cove gets up as well. There's lots to think about when you make your decisions in this game. Lots to think about. We can gain 3 regen, we can get some bronze skills, or buy some weapons. We do have lots of money. Let's go see what we can do about getting our hands on some better weapons here. Okay. Okay. I don't hate this. So this is a pet rock. I know, funny, right? This is a small weapon friend. 5-second cooldown, does 5 damage. You don't really care much about the damage it does. It does 1 damage per second. But if this is your only friend on your board, all your items have a 5% crit chance. So that's pretty... That's not nothing. That's not nothing. However, I look at the bayonet. Kind of redundant because I'm considering about putting a bayonet on my sword. But the bayonet's pretty good because the katana hits so frequently. Its cooldown's only 2 seconds. This does 5 damage every 5 seconds. This would do 5 damage every 2 seconds. Yeah, whenever you use the weapon to the left of this deals 5 damage. I don't hate that, so I'm going to pick it up. But we also do want to buff up the value of the cove, and we have quite a bit of money. So we're actually going to buy all of these.
Make me proud.
And reroll. Interesting. We're going to sell... Well, let's keep the rock. For now. I don't care about the grenade, though, at all. No, we're selling the piranha too. I hate the piranha. I've not found a good use for it yet. I'm sure it exists, but I haven't found it yet. 3 new items. The shovel deals 20 damage over 10 seconds. Not a great weapon to have on your board. However, in your stash, at the start of each day, you get a small item that comes from any hero. So you just get free stuff just for having it. Not bad. Powder keg. I've used this once before, and I've seen some great builds on this. So it takes 20 seconds to go off. It deals damage to your... It's a medium weapon. Deal damage to your opponent equal to their 30% of their maximum health, and then this gets destroyed. But the kicker is whenever you inflict burn on your opponent, you charge this, i.e. skip 2 seconds of the cooldown. So that if you just do a whole bunch of burn, this can trigger in 8, 9, 10 seconds, which is pretty good. I'm not going to pull this into our build, I don't think. And the throwing knives, I'm just going to buy because it's cheap.
Enjoy the thrill of battle.
And I can sell it for the cove.
You can.
Okay. I need to. So, here's the key. Here's the part of what I mentioned earlier is positioning is very key. When you use weapon to the left of this, deal 5 damage. At this moment, the algorithm looks at this item and looks immediately to its left. Because it's not a weapon, immediately to its left, this is useless. Now it's useful. Because it detects what's to its left, it is in fact a weapon. So when this goes off, this will also activate. It can be very easy to rearrange your board because when you get the level up items, when you sell an item, your leftmost item gets damage or whatever, so you need to drag this over sometimes to make sure you upgrade the right one. It can be very easy to not put it back, or forget to put it back, or put it back in the wrong order, and then you go into your next fight and you facepalm. Do I want a shovel? Pay $4, basically. I mean, no, I think we can do better. I'm good. Okay, so next day, we got more ammo items. Sell slow skills, or get a small tool. Tool could be useful when we level up. So next level, our rug. I think they call it a rug. Our mat or rug will be full size, and we can fit 10 spaces worth of items out here. I think I want the slow skills. I really like the dock lines. Oh, see, this is a good one. First time you use a large item, slow one item for 5 seconds. So you'll slow one of your enemy's item for a full 5 seconds, which is pretty good. I can't afford this. I wish I could. Actually, I don't. When you slow haste a vehicle, I don't have any vehicles, so useless. First time you slow each fight, freeze an item for 3 seconds. So now you think, so this is going to go off after 4 seconds, and then it would automatically do slow, which would trigger this to automatically freeze one of my opponent's items for 3 seconds. So do I want to freeze an enemy item for 3 seconds, or do I want to slow one item for 5? That's what it comes down to. I think I like the freeze better. Okay, yeah, so our skills, so we have 3% crit chance, and whenever we do a slow each fight, first time we do a slow each fight, we freeze an item. Okay, so here are our bronze, silver, and gold enemies. And there's the Flame Dancer, the Frost Street Challenger, and the Eccentric Either Right. There's a T behind that 5, I promise. So this guy's going to freeze our stuff in battle. You don't want to mess with that. The Flame Dancer is usually who I go after, I think, on this particular day when he comes up. He does have he has a fiery cutlass, a fiery sword, which is pretty good. And the Aetheryte has a great skill we could get, but I don't think we can beat her. I don't know that we can't beat her, I just don't think we can. I'm gonna play it safe and go with the Flame Dancer.
No, I am not a dervish. That's offensive.
So these guys are just gold bars you can sell for money. Probably get one of those. What we usually get. So there's the freeze. It only activates once. So this is now doing 23 damage because of the bayonet. So we're slowing items. We're doing 23 damage every 2 seconds, and we're gaining 3 shield every 36 seconds. Or, sorry, 36 shield every 3 seconds. This number, the yellow number is the shield. The orange number is the burn. There'll be a dark green number at some point. That'll be the poison, and a light green number will be the regen. Those will all be sitting on your health bar when you have them all. And we won.
Was that even a battle?
Yeah, there's the gold bar.
Maybe a skirmish.
So we've been going for an hour. I think I'm actually going to call it an episode here. Because there's at least another half an hour around this game. Probably even a bit more. So, yeah, we'll call this part 1. And I hope that you'll join me for part 2 and beyond. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you're doing great and hope you had a great holiday season. And as always, be kind, be strong, and be awesome. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.